Every year, thousands of Indians work years, sometimes decades, chasing the same dream: a US visa, a green card, a stable life. That dream is about to get a lot harder. Washington is preparing sweeping changes to H-1B visas, employment green cards, and student visas, and Indians will absorb the biggest hit. A $100,000 visa fee is tangled in court. A 12-year green card queue could stretch even longer. Duration of study status may disappear. So what exactly is changing, and why does India carry the heaviest burden? And how should Indian professionals and students prepare for what's coming? Let's break this down. Let us start with the fee that shook Indian tech workers last year. In September of 2025, the Trump administration imposed a $100,000 charge on every new H-1B petition filed for a worker outside the US. On June 8th this year, a federal judge in Massachusetts struck that fee down entirely. The court ruled that only Congress can impose taxes and called this charge a tax in disguise. It also found the government skipped proper rule-making procedure, but the story did not end there. 4 days later, the government won a stay and the fee is back in effect while the case goes to appeal. Meanwhile, a separate court in Washington, D.C. had already upheld the same fee back in December. That's a direct conflict between two courts, and it could eventually land at the Supreme Court. A final decision could take anywhere from 6 to 18 months. While that fee battle plays out, another major change already went live. The H-1B lottery used to be a straightforward random draw. Not anymore. In late December, the government finalized a new rule replacing that random lottery with a weighted system that favors higher paid, more experienced applicants. It took effect on Feb 27th and applied directly to this year's H-1B cycle. The cap for the new fiscal year was hit in just 25 days. This hits younger applicants and lower paying roles hardest. Exactly the profile many Indian graduates fall into straight out of university. There's more coming, and it targets a very specific business model. US immigration agencies are preparing new rules that would enforce employers to prove a genuine employer-employee relationship and show that visa holders are actually doing specialized work at client sites. This directly affects Indian IT and consulting firms who commonly place employees at third-party client locations. Companies with a history of visa violations could also face tighter scrutiny on every future petition they file. On top of that, large employers who rely heavily on H-1B and L-1 workers may soon pay an additional biometric entry-exit fee, not just on new petitions but even on extensions of stay. Here's a change that could quietly hurt thousands of Indian families. Roughly 1 lakh Indian spouses, mostly women, currently work in the US on H-4 visas, tied to their partner's H-1B status. New rules could end automatic extensions of their work permits. Since renewal applications can only be filed 180 days before expiry and government processing routinely takes longer than that, many spouses could face involuntary work gaps or lose jobs entirely simply due to processing delays outside their control. Now to students. For decades, international students could stay in the US for the full length of their academic program under something called duration of status. That system is being replaced. The new proposal would grant students a fixed period instead, reportedly capped around 4 years, after which they would need to formally apply for an extension. That's a serious problem for PhD students and longer degree programs that routinely run past 4 years. A related rule affecting the optional practical training program is expected by Feb next year. And then there's the number Indians know all too well, the employment-based green card queue. As of this year, India's EB2 category has already hit its entire annual cap and is unavailable for the rest of the fiscal year. The current EB2 India final action date sits at July of 2014. That's a backlog of over a decade. EB3 India is worse at November 2013. The reason is structural. No single country can receive more than 7% of employment-based green cards annually, regardless of demand. India generates over half the global demand for these visas, but gets the same fixed share as everyone else. New applicants filing today are entering a queue that could realistically stretch beyond a decade before it clears. The numbers tell the story. Indians consistently receive around 70% of all H-1B visas issued every year. The overwhelming majority of employment-based green card applicants stuck in America's decades-long backlog are also Indian nationals. More than 3 lakh Indian students are enrolled in American universities. Thousands of Indian technology professionals arrive every year through H-1B visas. Companies such as Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Nvidia, and hundreds of startups depend heavily on Indian engineers. Indian IT firms like TCS, Infosys, Wipro, and HCL have also built large workforces in the US. None of these changes exist in isolation. A stalled visa fee, a rebated lottery, tighter rules on Indian IT firms, disrupted spousal work permits, shrinking student visa timelines, and a green card backlog that keeps hitting its ceiling year after year. Each change alone is manageable. Together, they add up to something bigger, a system quietly becoming harder for Indians specifically to navigate. The American dream is not closing its doors, but for Indian professionals and students, it's making the door narrower, slower, and far more expensive to walk through.
If they had a nuclear weapon,
the old rules are breaking. Alliances are shifting.
Apologize again to the victims of the paedophile Jeffrey Epstein.
Wars are redrawing maps. Oil routes can shake economies overnight. One election in America can impact markets in Mumbai.
no tax on tips.
One move by China can alter the balance in Asia. One conflict in West Asia can hit every Indian household. This is no longer a distant story. This is our story. Your story. Because for the first time in decades, India is not watching from the sidelines. India is rising. India is negotiating. India is balancing rivals. India is building military strength. India is shaping trade routes. India is becoming central to the new global order. And yet, most global news is still told through someone else's lens. Washington's lens, Beijing's lens, London's lens. But where is India's lens? Where is the platform that explains the world from our perspective? Welcome to India's Axis, a new destination for geopolitics, strategy, and power seen through India's eyes. From Neighborhood Watch to the biggest global stories that matter to you. Why tensions in the Taiwan Strait matter to India. How one move by China can affect India's security. What turmoil in Pakistan means for regional stability. How Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Bhutan shape India's neighborhood. Why oil choke points can hit your wallet. How wars abroad can reshape India's security. This is not noise. This is not shouting. This is not recycled headlines. This is sharp, intelligent storytelling. Daily explainers, war room analysis, strategic conversations. Because news is everywhere, but perspective is rare, and in the age of confusion, clarity is power. Axis is for the audience that wants more than headlines. The axis of global power is shifting. India is at the center of that shift. It's time the world was explained accordingly. To understand the world through India's strategic lens. Subscribe now.